Oh, hi! What's your favorite ice cream flavor? I love those places you can go to that have all the different flavors and you can put a little bit of each one in your ice cream bowl. Our homeschool style is kind of like that. I like to pick and choose from different methods and use what works for our family. I've heard different people compare the different homeschool methods or philosophies to homeschool flavors. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. And welcome to my familia homeschool. My name is Marissa. I live in Miami, Florida with my husband and my 3 girls. We are a family that has chosen homeschool as the way that we will educate our children. On my channel, I love talking about curriculum, ideas, tips, activities, and just general mom stuff. So if that is something that interests you or could be a support, helpful for you and for your family, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you can join us in the future. So like I said in the beginning of this video, we are going to be talking about the homeschool flavors. And like I also mentioned at the beginning, we don't stick to just one of them. I like to pick and choose the things, the ideas, the philosophies that work best for our family. But there is one flavor that I identify most with. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that at the end. But let's get started with what are the homeschool flavors. So our first flavor is the traditional flavor. The traditional flavor is probably the flavor that you're most used to, you're most accustomed to, you're most familiar with. If you grew up in school and you spent your days in a classroom, this is probably the kind of education you were given. There's usually a textbook and a workbook for each separate subject. Throughout your day, you go through the different classes, you read a chapter in each textbook, and then answer questions in the workbook. Most workbooks have questions about what you read, and a lot of time those include multiple choice questions. Now, like I said, this is probably the flavor you're most used to, but it's not the only one out there. So let's talk about some of the other flavors that exist within the homeschool realm. So the next flavor is classical, the classical flavor. The classical flavor focuses on teaching children in 3 stages called the trivium. The first stage is the grammar stage, which goes from ages 6 to 10. This stage focuses on absorbing information and memorizing the rules of phonics, spelling, grammar, foreign languages, history, science, and math. The next stage is the dialectic stage, which goes from ages 10 to 12. This stage emphasizes logical discussion, debate, drawing correct conclusions, algebra, thesis writing, and understanding the why behind the information. The next stage is the rhetoric stage, which goes from ages 13 to 18. This stage continues the rigorous and systematic studies and seeks to develop a clear and persuasive use of language. I have lots of friends that use the classic method of homeschooling, and they really enjoy it. So this is a great choice. Our next homeschool flavor is unschooling. This is a flavor that we hear about a lot within the homeschool community. Within this flavor, education or learning is based on the interests of the child. Usually there is no set curriculum that is used. So for example, if the child is interested in butterflies, we start investigating about butterflies and we learn all we can until the child is satisfied. If our child is interested about cars or horses, same thing. We look into all the information we can find out about cars or racehorses, and then we're done when we're done. Our next homeschool flavor are unit studies. Unit studies take one topic and incorporate all of the school subjects within that topic. So language arts, math, science, history, art, etc. So for example, if our unit is about Egypt, for geography, we're going to make a map of Egypt. For history, we're going to read books about Egyptian history. For math, we are going to calculate the height of a pyramid. For science, we're going to learn how the Egyptians irrigated their farmland using the Nile. For literature, we're going to read a historical fiction book based in ancient Egypt. For art, we might make a painting or a sculpture of a pyramid. And for language arts, we might learn to spell pyramid or other words related to Egyptian culture. So our next homeschool flavor is the Charlotte Mason flavor. The Charlotte Mason flavor gets its name from a British educator who lived at the end of the 19th century. This flavor is based heavily in literature and presenting living ideas to our children. It also focuses on helping children develop good lifelong habits that will help them as they continue to grow. Within the Charlotte Mason flavor, instead of using worksheets, we use narration to ask our children to tell us about what they learned from the books we read that day. The Charlotte Mason flavor also seeks to spread a feast by taking time to learn things such as art, handcrafts, music, and nature study. Now, these are just a few of the great flavors that are out there for homeschooling. Now, when it comes to us, our family, we definitely pick and choose from the different homeschool flavors. There is one, though, that I would say I identify more closely with, which would be the Charlotte Mason flavor. I love literature, I love books, and I've seen the power of a story in teaching our children about the world. But we also use workbooks within our homeschool. So I'm not going to say that I'm a purist by any means of the word. There's also things that we pick and choose from unit studies. So like this summer, we're going to be learning about insects. And so we're going to be doing insect art. We're going to be doing insects for science. We're going to be doing insects for literature. So there are things from that method or that flavor that we use within our homeschool as well. It's great to know the different methods there are, the different options and choices that you have available to you, but definitely don't feel like you have to put yourself in a box. Pick and choose what works best for your family. Let me know in the comments, what homeschool flavor do you identify the most closely with, and what other ideas or philosophies do you pick and choose from? I hope this video was helpful for you and your homeschool. If it is, give us a thumbs up and subscribe so that you can join us in the future.